I'm bummed that it doesn't rotate the colors on the fonts. Like if you like fucking,
you can do whatever you want with the programming.
You just gotta fucking program it. That's all.
I don't know how to do that. Hopefully somebody's done that and I can buy it off them. What do they charge for that? What would they charge for that piece of programming script? $5? $100?
They're right there on the left.
Yeah, longer.
Like those will work, right? You just put a wrench in there.
Yeah, but they're short. I like them. Yeah, some of them were a little long.
Rainbow Bright.
In the name of unicorn.
Actually, I want you to use that one when we started the show.
Yeah. What was called the profile edition? All right, we doing this?
Ready? I want to talk about this on the show, but basically what you're trying to do, you're trying to hook the board to the PC, but you can't connect to the board, basically.
Yeah, I'm running Arduino, and I'm going through it, and when I'm uploading my config and everything, it's counting 1, 2, 3 to 10, which means it's not finding the board.
Okay, it's waiting. It's waiting too long to get you in, so it's telling you you're not yet.
You ready?
Yeah, let's sit.
All right, let's sit and then we'll count it in.
Yeah, so Seth, what's gonna happen here is like you probably won't see us because we're behind this table, but like everyone I think will be able to see you, and then
We got you in an angle so we could at least look in your direction.
we can kind of like see what's going on here.
Alright.
Can you see it?
Good.
Can we turn him up a little bit? Can we
Yeah,
get a little more
turn it
volume?
up.
Because I'm deaf.
Saber Talk, episode 18. Take 1. Lights, sound, makeup, fog machine, smoke machine. Not you two smoke machines, I mean that.
Yeah, baby.
All right, ready?
That's it. You guys got sabers
3.
ready? Welcome to Saber Talk 18. We have a special guest. We have JEDISETH on the screen here. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm here with Gabe and Harris. And we were actually just talking about the Profi board stuff. Harris wired up our first Profi board tonight.
Profi,
He's
baby.
playing with it right now.
Profi. And it lights inside too.
Profi.
It's got lights inside.
That's disco.
Yeah, baby.
This thing is
He's
going
got
on.
some kind of strobe. He's got some kind of strobe.
Yeah, got turn it off. Oh,
Tapping.
like we said, profile's like acting up
What happened
sometimes.
there?
My saber's dead.
Your saber's dead?
Yeah, it's dead. I'll let me play.
We had a false start over here with like some kind of disco situation with that. Switch to like a different sound font on that. That rainbow.
Well, it's like doing what it wants every time you
Yeah.
So you don't know what
Do you have an alternate saber? Maybe we'll start again.
I'm trying to look. I don't actually. I've sold so many of my sabers because now I just like building stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, I think I had 5 Ultra Sabers and I'm down to 1 because they don't satisfy me anymore.
I like Ultra Sabers for customizing. I would buy some of their hilts and customize them in shroud work, all kind of stuff. Repaint them, weather them.
Yeah. Well, if I was a dueler, I'd be all about Ultra Sabers because they can take a beating. But I really love just making crystal chambers and
I like that too.
LEDs and all the fun. I like the lights.
Sound parts.
JEDISETH, tell us how long you've been like making lightsabers, how long you've been into lightsabers, and I want you to tell us how long you've been on like FX-Sabers, and then what other forums and different things that you're on.
So I started with Ultra Sabers. I didn't know a thing about lightsabers. One day I'm like, oh, it'd be cool for Halloween to have a lightsaber in a costume. So I saw Ultra Sabers, and I was trying to decide between Ultra Sabers and Saber Forge, and I couldn't make up my mind, and I couldn't afford both at the time. So I got Ultra Sabers, and then you get hooked, of course, and then 4 or 5 sabers down the road, I started realizing that I wanted more, and so I started customizing them, and I actually tore an Ultra Sabers apart and put a crystal chamber in it, and everybody was looking at me like, what the heck are you doing, and I realized I was on the wrong forum. I realized, and so then I jumped over to TCSS, and that was a lot of fun because guys were, like-minded. They wanted to build things and take things apart, and it was a lot of fun. And then I just started from there going into the other forums as well. And because I had, when you first got on a forum, you're like, oh, I got to have a username. So I came up with JEDISETH. It was simple, it was easy, and it was quick. And then I started making friends, and I'm like, oh, I can't change my name. So then it just stuck, and so, I wasn't able to come up with something, now I'd be like, oh, I have so many ideas for a cooler name, but, that stuck, so that's it.
So then you're like JEDISETH across multiple forums.
Yeah, that's it. It's all JEDISETH. And then I started making sound fonts a couple years. It's been 2 years. And I haven't made any fonts in probably 6 months, maybe even longer. I just started I bought a mill a few weeks ago. I bought a little machine shop mill, and so I've had a lathe for a while, but I just, I'm in buying tools, it consumes all my money. Because once you buy a lathe, it's quite expensive, but then you get the tools and it's even more money. Like, you could spend more money on tools than you can on a lathe. And that's kind of where I am.
Do you mind telling us what that kind of equipment costs? Because I'm one of those kind of people that I would love to invest in that kind of stuff, but I find it really impossible because you don't get your turnaround. People don't want to pay for your higher end pieces.
No, they don't. I've sold one saber for around $1,000, but most guys don't want to spend that much. Most guys, if you're Darth Alice, I think you could sell a lot of them. If you have a big name, but I don't. And I think it takes a while to build up there. I've sold a lot of the first few sabers with chambers, and I was just selling them to get the money out to build another saber.
So,
and in some ways that makes me happy. If I can get my material back to build another saber, I'm
totally.
happy.
You get your material back and you can invest and build another one. I'm with you. That's something that I love to do as well. My question is, how much do you have invested in your shop?
So I first started with a Sherline mill, and it's great for crystal chamber work. But once you start boring out 1.5 and 2-inch tubing, it's really kind of hard on it. And so I'm in the middle of getting ready to buy another lathe, but I'm going to go with Little Machine Shop, and they're about $1,200, right around that area.
Not cheap, man. Not cheap.
Not cheap. For $1,500, you'd get the nicer one. The mill was $1,200, I think. But you know, you'll easily spend another $500-600 in tools just
tools, bits, built bits, cutting edges, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because then pretty soon you want carbide bit turning tools, you know, and they get a little pricey. So
yeah, and they wear out. Tools are designed to wear out.
And not only that, then you start buying metal, you know, and then you'll spend $200 every time you go to buy a bunch of metal to build, you know, 2 or 3 sabers, and you're buying. I buy my metal from Online Metals, and that's the best place that I found to buy metal.
Yeah, I bought some hollow tubes from them before, but I don't have the ability to cut solid stuff.
They're great.
Yeah,
Online Metals is the best.
Yeah, the price is good, fast shipping.
Yeah, fast shipping, the price is good. A lot of times you can hold out and look around, you can find a 20% coupon. They have those all quite often.
I've never seen that. Awesome. Maybe you can share that with me later.
You just Google and say, you know, coupon for Online Metals. But if you subscribe to their website, they will send you codes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to look into that.
A lot of times when you're like...
I usually hold out for the 20 because that's...
Good,
you know,
yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Save money, man.
And
Save money wherever
like,
you can.
getting it directly from them, I guess you could use that. Like a lot of times when you're on Amazon, just searching through the metal tubes, a lot of times it will be from Online Metals anyway.
Correct.
So it probably just pays to just go directly to.
Yeah, I've actually bought a piece on eBay, and it was shipped from them directly. So I think they do eBay sales too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I have a bunch of your stuff on the screen here that I have, like with the crystal chambers that I wanted to show. But people can look at your work on FX-Sabers. There's some great pictures, and it's in like the ones that I usually see are in the forum gallery.
Nice stuff.
I mean, it's so easy to invest so much of financially into this stuff, because when you know you're gonna want to become a sabersmith, or when you make that decision that this is something you want to do, you can't help but really want to get the good stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you know you want to make something good, because in your mind you're gonna go all out, you're gonna make an awesome product, and people are gonna buy. But then you get smacked in the face of reality, where people, it's like JEDISETH's the same. People really don't. It's like anything else, you know, they want to cheap, fast, quick, and what's the easiest way, and they don't think about the work that goes into, and the detail that goes into, and the time that goes into.
It's so much fun.
On top of all the money you've already spent for your equipment.
Well, and here's the thing I want you guys to keep in mind. There are companies out there that sell that kind of product.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy a hilt, I'm not going to mention names, you can buy a hilt that has sound in it for $200. You can buy a hilt that has sound in it for $3,000. So it's a pretty broad spectrum. It's a very broad, very, very wide market. But the average guy, I think, he wants cheap and quick. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens to you, so in the beginning, I had 7 Ultra Sabers. And pretty soon you get tired of, oh, it's just another lightsaber.
Right.
Then you want something special.
Right.
You get into it long enough, you want something special.
Sure, sure.
And then I'm at the point where I kind of downsize. I'm like, you know, if I look at a saber and I like it, but I don't love it, I don't buy it. You know, I have to love it. And if I love it, then I buy it. And then I'm down to 2 or 3 sabers, and that's all I have.
So can I ask you a question? What do you do with the saber? Because there's a lot of different people out there. There are people that fight the TSL, and they're going to take a hilt and bash the crap out of it every Sunday afternoon at a saber meet. And then there's guys like me. I'm a couch potato. I love nothing more than to have a nice, fancy, beautiful piece in my hand, watch a show going on, and at the same time holding the hilt that's used in that show. But I also, you know, like the 3 of us will go in the backyard and we'll duel a little bit. What's your thing?
You know, I always will have 1 Ultra Sabers, just so if I want to go to a party or a costume party, you know, I have something to smack around with. I'm not going to bring my lightsaber with my crystal chamber that I've spent, you know, 30 plus hours building.
You don't carry that out of the house.
That's the shelf.
Yeah, that's not leaving the house.
Shelf queen. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's a shelf queen, you know. But a lot of the newer people who get into this, they don't make that differentiate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or is that a man? Did I just make that word up?
I think that's
Differentiate.
Well, I've talked to guys who've sold sabers, and they'll sell it to the guy, and the guy sends it back 3 days later, and it's just beat to tar. You know,
Destroyed.
And then they explain it to him. They're like, you know, you can't go smacking this around as hard as you can.
Right.
And they just think, and, you know, and they send it back, and they want to fix for free.
Correct.
And he says, well, if you know, get something else if you're gonna. You know, if you're gonna get an Ultra Sabers initiate, you can beat the trash out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, like in the same color, like of whatever you like. So, like, let's say you're like a green saber person, you can get like an Ultra Sabers in green or some other cheaper saber that you built yourself or whatever, like a stunt.
Christ, yeah,
And
you just get a stunt.
You just pretend that it's, you know, your personal saber, your like expensive saber, your, you know, your saber you'd use as a Jedi or Sith or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be like you beat the tar out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on one of the Facebook pages. What's that Facebook page? Not everyday carry. Where they carry it, help people talk about and show pictures of themselves while they're carrying a hill out in public.
I forget.
I forget the name of it.
You're
It was a
probably
Facebook page.
like the president of that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not the president. But I like to walk around and carry a hill. Am I going to carry a $3,000 hill on my belt and hand it to somebody? Because I've handed somebody a $1,500 saber and they dropped it on the floor like it was a piece of shit. You know?
True story.
True story. True story. It's happened actually 3 times to me. You've had it happen. I know we've discussed that. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm going to tend to carry more of a junker and keep my nice stuff at home. And it does. It expands out. For guys like you bought what you wanted and that intrigued you and then you started building, correct?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it now?
I think I've been building for just over a year.
Okay.
Installing, and so I'm still pretty new. You know, one thing that I have found is a lot of guys out there, like I'll build something that's kind of unique, and a lot of guys out there, they want something that's the graphics. You know, they want something that they can relate with.
It's what they know.
Scores.
Yeah, it's what they know. That saber's been shoved down your throat for 30 years now, you know?
Well, that's what's angered me with like the new movies a little bit with how they, like, we've been restricted with like our lightsaber access, so to speak, and everyone's just kind of pigeonholed into like a couple different designs if you want to stick with like movie related stuff, which like most people probably do. And then even when we saw, like, we said it probably 3 times, or I said it a bunch of times, like when you finally see the inside of the graphics when it's like broken in half, it's not even nice like one of your chassis.
Yeah.
It's like something, I don't know, it's like a plastic tube or something.
No, I love the guys that build something that's beautiful that you could turn around and sell for $1,000, and then they cut the thing in half and they sell it for $1,500. That's awesome.
Wait, I didn't get that. Say that again.
They get a saber, they build it. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Now let's really weather it. We're gonna cut this fucker in half, and we're gonna roll it down the driveway.
Drill holes all in.
Yeah, now it's a piece of shit.
Well, they repaired it in the new trailer.
You know, I actually, the one saber that was Star Wars related, or more Star Wars related, that I did build was the Jedi Killer, and I got more interest in that saber than any of the sabers that I made. I had quite a few people show interest, offer to buy it, and I have kept it because I like it.
Nice.
I may build another one, but yeah, you know, usually when you're doing these one-of-a-kind sabers that aren't the graphics and they aren't Obi-Wans and all this stuff, usually it's the guys that have a few sabers, they're into it big time, you know, they're looking for something different. But if they're a new guy, you know, they usually want the graphics, they want the Obi, they want something real familiar.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
I mean, I really like personally this type of stuff that you do, which is like really seems to me to like relate a lot to the looks of my friend Mike in New York, who made me the Jedi Assassin lightsaber. That's like my personal lightsaber. It seems like you guys have a similar design.
Darth Chasm.
Yeah.
Darth Chasm actually really helped me get into this hobby. Like, he helped me get my first Sherline lathe and told me what tools. He's been actually very
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I haven't seen him around on the forums lately, But yeah, Mike's a great guy. I really like him.
I think he said he's been like real busy with his job. But I'm sure he still loves sabers as much as ever. But that's funny that you say that so much. If you have anything else to say about Mike, definitely say it. But I just think that's so funny that you had that connection, and I kind of noticed it. I thought in the design aspect of what you guys
very
build.
kind of steampunky.
Yeah. Well, it was looking at his sabers and listening to him is what really got me moving and making me want to do, get into this hobby, and more so into building. I was very inspired by his work. He does a really phenomenal job. He's very detail oriented. He does good stuff. He's a good sabersmith.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. And I ever since the first one that you made, I think you're posting them by number, 1, 2, 3, And I remember noticing kind of early on. I mean, you had the knack for just the design, that Star Wars design, the design of the chambers, the design of the saber itself. One that we were looking at on the screen over here looked to me, I think it's number 8 or something, it looked to me like the Force Unleashed 2 type of look, And, but it had this whole interior that almost actually, another member builds chambers that look really cool like that too. Gary, is his name Gary? I'm forgetting his forum name right now, but he has those similar Force Unleashed looking hilts as well, which I just think are so cool, in universe Star Wars looking hilts.
Yeah, number 8 is my removable core. I've done 2 of those. Those are quite a bit more difficult than the other ones because the core comes completely out, and you have to solve the problem of the switch solution.
Yeah.
Because you have to have switches that push in and hit the other switches for the core. You can't have any wires, and so that gets quite a bit. It gets difficult. It gets hard to get everything lined up and working accurately.
It's tricky.
Harris and I have talked about wanting to do something like that, and we've talked about how difficult it would be to do the switch thing. I thought of some things with the alignment. I kind of get how that would be. There could be a notch where it only goes in one way, right? And then the switches have to line up where it stops and stuff like that.
Isn't that what that sabersmith from California was doing? Oh my God. And this was 2 years ago, I think he started doing it. It was a core.
I've seen people do it.
Yeah.
But it's
really
not
like
easy.
I like that idea.
It's tedious work. For some people, they want to take a 1,000-piece puzzle and spread it out on their dining room table. It's similar for guys like us. You know what I mean? We're problem solvers. You know what I mean? How to make it. If I get it to do A and B, will it do C? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do I make it do A and B to get it to do C?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. Thinkers.
From the the Profi stuff that you've done, is there a what we were kind of surmising before? Is there from your experience a memory in the Profi board itself aside from the SD card?
Aside from there is. There's a. The SD card just holds the sound fonts or the music fonts.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hold anything else, it just holds the fonts. The board itself's holding all the programming.
Because the weird thing that we were dealing with earlier, and we still don't, we kind of just started the show when we still didn't know. I was like, let's ask JEDISETH, because I know you did a couple Profis recently, and we're just starting with the Profi. We don't understand. We just started reading the instruction manual. We read some parts of it a couple times, but we didn't read the entire thing through. And the weird thing was we copied Gabe's SD card from his Profi Saber. We put it in our Profi Saber, and we were getting different results.
Really?
So I'm thinking
I've only done 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have to ask, do you know Mega 2 Sith, Tom Tillman?
Yeah.
He's very good at those, and I'm always asking him, hey, what's wrong with this? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Because every time I go to do one, there's a set of new problems. I'm actually extremely excited. The word on the street is Plector's going to be coming out with some stuff soon. And I don't know if it's a year out or 2 years out. I don't know when it is, but I am so excited because smooth swing and open source, that's the future. You know, this Profi board is opening doors.
Yeah.
And Nigon and Plector, you know, they're going to be left out to dust if they don't catch up with this technology. You know, if they don't, and I'm sure they're smart guys. I'm sure they know all about it. But I'm excited to see, you know, a prism with smooth swing. You know, the crystal focus should be coming out first. I'm assuming, at least that's the word. But you know, this smooth swing is so neat and so cool and so responsive. You know, and just it's just the future of the Saber boards. In fact, my Crystal Focus 9, the last one that I had, I just sold because I don't want the Crystal Focus. If the Crystal Focus was smooth swing or whatever they're going to call it's coming out pretty soon. I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of boards because I'm going to want the new stuff, you know. And this technology is just exciting.
It is. Like, just I feel giddy when we're swinging these around. They're smile-inducing, you know. It's like you don't want to stop playing with it, which is like that new feeling that we got when we first played with the Crystal Focus or any of those older boards. If you tried any of those older ones, years ago, you probably got giddy over that.
And they're still really good boards.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just so excited about the smooth swing and the Neopixel and all this other stuff that's come out recently is just amazing.
Yeah, like I got behind with trying these newer ones, and we just started trying them, and Harris did a lot of the research and development tonight on doing that, and we want to get in on when the Crystal Focus comes out. We want to be first rather than be last, like we were with this one.
I think there's a market out there for all these soundboards. Just like there's. Chevy and there was Pontiac, you know what I mean? You had a Firebird, you had a Camaro. Some people had to have the Camaro, some people had to have the Firebird. I was a Firebird guy, But I think there's a market out there for all of it. But I hope I don't get beat down for this, and I'm new to this. My thoughts can change in a week, as they often do. I find the Plector Lab stuff, and I don't have a lot of experience with the Nigon. I've done 2 so far over the past few years, but I just feel that it's buggy. The Profi stuff, it's buggy. Like you're saying, you're trying to connect your board, you can't connect your board to the PC.
Well, I'll tell you what I did at first. I did a red, white on a Profi board, and I hooked it up to Frederick's programming, and and I uploaded everything, did everything right, and I go to use it, and my lights pink. And then I realized that is for RGB, for red, green, red, green, blue.
Right.
And I couldn't figure that out. And there was nothing on there for red, white. So I messaged Frederick, and I have to get a whole new, and he doesn't advertise this.
I'm guessing you had to change the values, right?
Yeah, and so it was a whole new set of problems that had to get worked out. And so it would be nice if, because there's a lot of guys that I've talked to, they don't want to deal with all this stuff. They don't want to deal with having to copy code and make sure everything's working correctly.
They just want a toy handed to them that's ready to go.
Right, they want to do the Plector thing. They want to plug it in and go.
Yeah.
They want to solder it, turn it on, and it goes. And I would like to see, Profi board, it's
become a little bit more like user-friendly.
Cool, but we want all the benefits of it without doing all that work, to be honest with you.
It is a lot of work. It's a hobby unto itself. And like I was saying, I forget one of you guys I was telling earlier, it's like its own language. It's like learning a whole nother language,
Well, I think we're lucky that we have, like you were saying, Megatooth Sith, and we have, who's been answering our questions, Dimitri, a lot of the times. We're just really lucky to have the access to those people. Whenever I have a question about, TCSS stuff, like Tim will answer sometimes. We have direct access with all the social media stuff and all the emailing and everything to just the direct person who is responsible for that, right? Like you said, you talked to Frank.
Can you imagine how lost we'd be if we didn't have that stuff?
Oh my! Like I can't write the programming for the stuff. At least not yet. Never say never. But It's
I
just
don't
not
have that
something
kind
I
of
looked
capability.
at yet. You know, like you were saying, I just wanted to kind of like up until this point, just plug it in and go. And this is just another step or two, but I think the possibilities, like being endless, it's worth it because like the possibilities are literally endless with the that open source deal.
I call it the Saber Matrix and the Saber Matrix and Frederick's Neo or Dimitri, whoever created it. That's Neo. The Saber Matrix, because it's really, you got to know how to do that stuff, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It does. It gets easier. It gets easier. You start learning. You know, an error pops up. You start getting familiar what error that is. You're like, oh, you know, it's not recognizing my board. I must be missing this or missing that. You know, you start. I'm not there yet, but you know, I hear it gets easier.
Also, like we said a bunch of times, like it's like tuning your. It really is like tuning your lightsaber. It's like you know, no, you got to go tune your lightsaber for real.
These guys are
be
making brand new blade styles.
Yeah.
You know, they're going in there and let's see what it's like to have a firework.
Let's see, I just built this tonight. I completed this like an hour ago.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's got some bumps to it though. Certain things are doing, you know, some things that I wanted to do, and certain things aren't doing what I wanted to do.
Well, the issue like we kind of started with was Gabe's Saber keeps the speaker keeps going out, so we need to go in there. We want to look at the code, find out like what the volume.
It's proppy, right?
Yeah.
Make sure your volume's not too high. I think when you first look at the code, it'll have a volume at 1,000. You can put it at 2,000, but don't go to 2,500 or you'll blow your speaker.
Okay.
So 2,000 is about the max.
Yeah. So like, even though he bought his third like whatever like bass speaker that he got like premium speaker, but what we did tonight was instead of put that in, we just put a different like speaker in just to see like, you know, the coding like you're saying, to try to turn it down or to see if it goes out again, that type of thing, before actually putting in like his high quality speaker back in.
I think it's like you're saying, we gotta look, you know, plug it up, see what numbers we're running or working with, and then be able to modify, make the decisions to lower it.
A lot of guys are using those WOW speakers for the Profi board.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have. But see, the frustrating thing is, I was telling the guys that I've been on the like online and stuff, and I see guys that are saying that they're pushing theirs at 25, 27, even up to 3,000 with no problem. And I don't understand that. How is that possible? If
I
two speakers that are at 2,300.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
So I think it's that we just need to plug up and maybe bring that volume level down.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think you're safe at 2,000. If you get too much higher, it may work for a while, but your speaker is not going to last very long.
Yeah.
That's got some punch to it, I guess.
You know what? Maybe his speaker did work at 2,500, but what's it going to last for 2 days?
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to blow.
And it's also like one thing, like as like me and you know, we're like building it if it's our own personal thing, or we've built it, especially if the speaker's like not hard to get. I mean, sometimes the speaker's like the first thing in, which sucks, and like you can't get to it. But sometimes you might build it to where the speaker's easy to change, in which case you might be like, hey, I don't care. But for someone like Gabe, he doesn't want. I mean, his only lasted I think 2 days the one time and whatnot. So we got to go in and just make sure that number is set correctly.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't want to be selling a speaker or a Saber with a speaker in it on a Profi board at 2,500, because that guy's going to come back to you a week later and you know, and it's blown, and he's going to want you to fix it. So I'd rather be safe when it comes to selling a Saber.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we do.
Like I've even lowered the volume on like a Prism when I thought it just sounded like it was gonna blow. I'm like, this sounds so loud. This is like too much.
If it starts distorting, then that's a warning.
Yeah.
Did you hear it distorted all before that? Oh, it did. You heard some distortion.
The first one was just distorted for days until it finally cut out.
Oh yeah, that's
then the second speaker, which was also the 4-watt speaker, it distorted for like literally 5 seconds, and then it went. and that was it. And then it didn't get any more sound out of it. So when I found out, when I looked into it, supposedly mine is set at like 22 or 2300, which is weird because I seen over and over, like I was just saying, guys supposedly, or not supposedly, but saying online that they got theirs at over, up to 3000 with no issues. So I'm like, how is that possible? Mine's blowing at 2300.
I also want to say that I think the font has a lot to do with it.
They were saying it's the font.
Yeah, I think certain fonts are more bassy.
Fonts that they are.
Maybe the font, it has more bass to it, more treble, and it's hard on a speaker. Again, I always say this, but I'm a musician. I know how speakers work. You know what I mean? I know the process of how it's made with a magnet and what it does and the vibration and the coil, and it's really a speaker. I don't know if you guys know. You know what a speaker's made out of? They're paper.
Not only that, the resonance.
So if you push it too hard, they rip. And if the paper rips or the coil blows, which is a little wire, it's done.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I know some guys have said that, the certain sound font will make the speaker rattle, it'll set off false clashes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm actually a fan. Anthony has a Saber we were getting ready to work on, and the guy that asked for the commission, he's asking for a rumble motor. And I hate rumble motors. They drive me crazy. And I also feel you want a good rumble, get a good bassy sound font, and the speaker, if it's set up properly with the proper resonance chamber, you'll get plenty of rumble out of that Saber.
Right.
Almost more than what that little stupid rumble motor is going to give you.
Right. I actually saw one guy, and he put the vents for the speaker up inside the Saber, so the sound was coming out where you hold it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that would sound like a rumble motor.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that makes sense too when like the sound, it can like be vented toward the emitter part where like you'd be sort of facing your opponent
they face it up
with it anyway, that now the room can hear it, or you yourself can hear it.
You're saying like more towards the emitter, not the palm, facing
like
up.
what LDM used to call reverse sound, or maybe he still calls it like reverse sound. He puts a speaker like upside down. Like I've had a couple builds where that seemed to work out, so I did that where it was like that you could put the speaker like facing upwards. Up there with, as long as you had that space and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
did you like that? Did it turn out good?
There was I would say like I had mixed results. I think I had a couple that I really liked the way it was, and then some that I felt like there was too much metal in the way and too much like it would bounce off of the like emitter parts and wires and stuff like that. In like certain cases, there wasn't enough sound holes, I guess, either,
Yeah, I've done speakers at the top, I've done speakers at the bottom, I've done all different, and my problem is I'm deaf, so I can't hear shit anyway, so I gotta believe what everybody else tells me.
That's all that Kiss music.
That's right.
Love it, baby. Kiss rocks. You know it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I was always a Scorpion fan.
Right on. Love the Scorps too. Love anything hair metal. I love my hair metal.
Do you guys cover any of those songs?
No, actually the cover band that I'm in now, we're kind of going more dancey, more like Alanis Morissette, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, that kind of stuff. Yeah, a little more poppy, top 40 rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's what sells. It's what gets me into clubs.
That's what makes me a groupie.
JEDISETH, are you excited for like episode 9, or like if
you know what?
If no, like what other what other things are you excited for Star Wars related?
When Ray did that flick,
crazy.
I'm just like, cut that sucker in half,
That would be cool.
I want to see that.
That would. How cool would that have been? Like an upside down blade,
you know what? If
just
they
slicing the
can make this right, and they can heal the damage they did with that last movie, I'm all back. I'm all back, baby. But they better not blow it twice.
And you know what? Everybody deserves a second chance, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody deserves number 2, a second chance, man.
Yeah.
But I think the general consensus is we're all hoping, praying.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. 8 more months.
I want some more, like Force related or like Jedi related, like lore or just talk. Like I don't know, more of that stuff.
I was looking forward for another lightsaber.
Yeah.
A lot of
people were hoping she'd make her own.
I wonder if they do something in the movie, do you think it could be something like, okay, I don't know if this is going to go down, but like, could they do something like, 10 years later, 5 years later, and then you see her with like a staff. I've just always hoped for the staff lightsaber. Just for that.
Can I don't know if is it too early for spoilers?
Well, a spoiler?
Well, not a spoiler for Star Wars, but didn't they just do a huge time jump in another famous movie that just came out this weekend?
Did you see the Avengers movie?
I did.
There was a huge time jump in there, right? In the middle.
Well, it's the same thing. This was supposed to take like 5 years.
So what I'm saying is, we've never really seen that in a Star Wars movie, where they do, you know what I mean? Like you see Luke at 15, then you see him at 20, and then 25. In this movie, and can I say the spoiler? I mean, they did the time jump. They bumped everything ahead. This is 2015 now. Now we're 2019. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my hope would be that like everything we've seen in the trailer is from the earliest time period, and then what we don't see is like they jump ahead, right? So then maybe she's dressed
possible halfway through the movie they do a time jump.
Maybe they've got some more students going or something. I mean,
look, man, they took Solo from us. They took Luke. She better be like one of the most badass Jedis. I mean, they gotta redeem themselves, man, because you got a lot of freaking people pissed.
I have one thing to tell you, my friend.
A lot of people, and with that badass flip she did on that thing, which my personal opinion is, I don't think she was fighting Kyle. I think she was hitching her ride to go somewhere. Is what I think, because he could have shot her. She could have used the Force to stop the speeder, or just
take away the momentum.
Yeah, or push him another direction or something, make him crash, and all she did was like hop on top of it. So I think they're on their way somewhere to maybe fight.
Can I say one thing to you?
But that's just me.
Nobody's gone forever.
Nobody's gone forever.
Nobody's ever really gone. Nobody's ever
all
really gone.
All I'm saying is she better be one badass mofo. Like I want to see a Jedi in all their freaking glory. Like, dude, do something. Like when we were talking about a couple episodes back, all the freaking like these high world-class martial arts people they get to train, for these movies and stuff. Like, make her like a badass Jedi. Freaking Luke's spirit, Qui-Gon spirit, all these. Just get in and have her do some badass shit to make us like jaw drop. Okay, you guys fucking redeem yourself. I'm sold. Fuck the last 2 movies you guys fucked up in or whatever. Let's roll. I'm on the bandwagon now. Because right now, man, it's like forget it, man.
Actually,
and I said it
you just gave me an idea of what they could do by saying that, because in the last movie where Luke kind of couldn't project himself without dying.
Yeah.
What if this chick like projects herself like in 8 different places, kicking people's ass in different places, and she's fine.
All at the same time.
That would tell you that she's crazy.
Like fucking Loki in 5 different places at the same time and shit.
Maybe, and then they show her like, oh, how could she be fighting all these people? And then they show her like meditating, and then your heart jumps because you think, oh my god, she's gonna die too. But then she doesn't, and you're like, oh my god, she's at another level.
Nah, she's gotta be, man. Come on, like she's like the last Jedi right now.
I don't think they would ever do this. I really don't. But if you're you guys watch Rebels? Mm-hmm. Did you all watch Rebels?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, at the end, how did Rebels end? Season 4. They went into that alternate universe with all these time doorways. And they went back and he found Ahsoka again at the end, and you know what I mean? And yeah, but I mean, that's possible. Pull in that theory, that timeline. The Jedi can go into these alternate. You already put it into a cartoon where it worked. You know what I mean? But I don't think they'll do that. I don't ever see them taking anything from the cartoon that's new and bringing it into the movie. They'll always bring the movie into the cartoon. You know what I mean? And of course, we did see the little droid from Rebels in The Force Awakens. What was his name? I forget his name.
BB-8?
Not BB-8. The other little round guy.
Chopper.
Chopper had a scene where it was a cat, like a Easter egg, you know. And they also, I think, had a voiceover where they were like calling Captain Syndulla to the ghost ship or something like that. I think was in there, you know.
All I'm saying is they better redeem themselves.
Yeah, they better.
Because they're going to lose a lot of, I'm telling you, and I said it, Disney has to cater to a new demographic, so they're basically, they want to end this Skywalker saga like they're saying, and from here on in, it's going to be the Rey show, the Rey and Finn show.
Well,
you know?
and you know what, I know everybody's talked about it a billion times, but if they would have done The Last Jedi right, it's Disney, they had more money than anyone on the planet. It's so stupid that they couldn't do it right.
It's
and
crazy.
how much money would they have made had they done it right?
Yeah. I think, like, my personal guesstimate is they lost, like, billions by killing Luke early.
The thing is, they had enough money to buy the best writers out there.
Yeah, I think they should
Best
have went and got, like,
storytellers
the Game
in
of
the
Thrones
world
people.
they could afford.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do it?
Go get, like, a novelist who just got on the, whatever, like, the #1 best-selling author. Go get Game of Thrones people. Go get Emmy Award-winning other, you know, movie writers,
Well,
whatever.
it goes back to what I'm saying. It's Disney. They don't want to get into it that deep. They just want to cater to kids now.
Avengers got some good writers.
Yeah, like
Avengers,
Avengers, like I feel like that's what kind of makes me know that it's possible when we see something like that go down. And they got they say 22 movies went to Avengers Endgame, and then Avengers Endgame wrapped it all up. We know that they have expert people that can craft that type of thing.
Yeah.
So why didn't they do it here?
Isn't there a formula?
Ego probably, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't there a formula for this kind of stuff that works? I mean, like, you know, like, isn't there a formula?
Well, whenever, like, you know,
Don't they have their shit
see,
together by now?
You know, like, I think the
Yeah,
formula
the formulas don't piss off the fans.
Yeah. Like, do something cool. Like, what's so hard about that? Like, you know.
If you know it works, fuck, do it again.
This is called the movies. You know, like, that's why it's called the movies.
It's fantasy. We want to be entertained.
We don't want to see our regular real world problems up on screen. Like, oh, this guy's depressed. Like, no. None of that. None of it. And, like, when they say, oh, but don't you know Princess Leia, the actress, she died. No. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry, but that's from our world. Like, Princess Leia is someone else. Like, that's not related. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter.
Or whatever it is Ryan Johnson was trying to pull off to be all weird and artsy or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Be funny.
He definitely wanted to be funny, and he wanted to just go against whatever you wanted. He wanted to, you know, take that away. It was just like a child's game.
Bad idea.
I'm not sure if I had talked about this before, but in the first movie, The Force Awakens, Maz Kanata, you know, she's like some kind of spiritual, intellectual being, right?
Yeah.
So she says, you know, the saber, it speaks to you, it's calling to you. She knew that, right? Nobody else knew that, she knew that, okay? Then in the second movie, she comes in and she says, go to this place, find the guy with the flower, you know? They find the guy with the flower, but then, oh no, we're not going to fuck with him. We're going to go find someone else that we meet in a fucking jail cell. How dumb is that plot line? How stupid! Dumb! Dumb!
And doesn't it make you think that Maz has to be familiar with the Forces and in tune with the Force to know that a saber's calling or what's going on? Or
Absolutely, she has to be some kind of a Force set. You know, did these people ever read a Jedi book, a fucking Star Wars book?
How does she be in business for 1,000 years when, like, she yells the name of, like, a galaxy-wide wanted man out loud, like basically a celebrity? It's like Tom Cruise walks in your bar, you go, Tom Cruise is here, holy shit, like, what do you think's gonna happen? Of course he's gonna get swarmed and bad guys are gonna come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Exactly what happens. Why do you yell his name? Like, don't you know this shit is on the down low? Like, every single meeting we have, Maz, if I was Han Solo, I would say, listen, never ever shout my fucking name again, because you know what happens is those planes come and destroy everything over here.
Oh my god.
She's so stupid. She's no business person. Like, she just destroyed her whole 1,000-year-old business by being a foolish rat, basically, like a snitch.
Han Solo!
Yeah. Unbelievable. Nobody would do that owns a bar. Nobody.
Oh my god.
Funny. The things that get to us all, you know? It's funny.
Yeah, but that was Disney's point.
No,
That's what I
because,
said
like-
a long time ago. That was their objective, is to piss
No, but when
all
you're
the
like,
OGs off, because they got a whole new demographic to look after. They're thinking about that financial future. So let's build a roller coaster based around the Millennium Falcon in Disney World and blah blah blah, so they can have that secure their future with the kiddies and have a whole. No, don't get me wrong. I love Ray. I'm a big fan of Ray. I love Ray, but they really didn't do it right, like you're saying. They had enough money to get good writers to do this shit right, and they didn't. And they're just worrying about the demographic and the money.
And they have more money than anyone on the planet.
God, more money than God.
yeah, you know, I think like what would have solved it is like another year. Like rather than saying like, listen, we're gonna come out The Force Awakens in 2015, bar none. You know, just say like, listen, take as much time as you need. We got all the money that we have. If it comes out in 2017, how's that? You're just going to make the fans get so excited that they're going to go even crazier. And then
That
the movie could be
Avengers
good.
before the end game, didn't they take 5 years to make that?
Yeah, like they've taken so much time. Like when George
And they did it
Lucas,
right.
yeah, like when George Lucas always made the other movies, like let's say in 1995 or whatever, when he started to get the ideas about it, 1996, 1997, he started gathering the people. They worked on it for like years before they actually started to actually work on it for 2 years. With this, they acquired Star Wars, and immediately they say, oh, in 2015 we got to come out with this movie, no matter what, no matter if it like stands the test of time or doesn't.
We got a Star Wars, let's make a quick buck.
Yeah. Whereas they know, like, you know, the whole world is going to look at the details, and when the details make sense, like they kind of do in the original trilogy, they kind of made sense, like even when you examine it with a microscope, like you could for 30 years while you're waiting for the next one to come out. Everything kind of lined up and everything kind of checked out, you know. And then in these new ones, we're kind of like examining it like 3 months in, or even the same week it comes out. We're like, shit ain't making sense here, you know. And it's like, how does this not line up when everything else seemed to line up?
Yeah.
Just like on a cursory look, like, oh, it's my second time seeing this movie. I need to bring my friend. I gotta ask him, like, is this good? I'm so blinded by the Star Wars light. I'm like, I think I love it. Am I stupid or something? And then like someone comes to tell me like, yo, it ain't good. I'm like, oh no, it ain't good.
Oh my god.
Very, very, very sad. Let the wind out of your sails, you know?
Yeah.
I already broke my oath. I said I wouldn't bitch about it anymore.
Well, yeah, I think.
Yeah, you were doing a whole episode on it.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't bitch. I'm
It's
jumping
just
on
like
the
I think
bandwagon again.
every like post.
You know what?
Episode 8,
And
Saber
my-
Talk is
and-
gonna devolve
and-
into like a hate chat.
Yeah, I'll sum it up. Let me sum it up. You ready? First movie out, 7, 8, 9 I'm talking, this trilogy, all right? First movie was like, all right, caught your attention. Yeah, okay, you got my attention, not bad.
Yeah.
Like you kind of wanted, like I was so freaking hyped
Yeah.
for that next movie.
Like take us back 30 years when that shit first
and
came
it
out.
was like, no, dude,
So
no.
much
Yeah. Give us that wow
No,
factor.
you don't get it, man. No, you don't get this.
Yeah.
You don't. You're a 9 to 5er. You don't breathe and live this like everybody who hated this garbage that you put out.
Yeah.
So I think we're all hoping and praying that the next one saves us.
Just bring
right?
back the love.
I mean, seriously, you know. People die. I get it, man. People die. I mean, my family's dropping off left and right as I'm getting older, you know? I get it. But don't kill us with the way you present the storyline. Don't think. It's always been, Lucas was smart. He wasn't a stupid man. He was smart. He had a lot of chutzpah upstairs. That's a Jewish word, chutzpah. But yeah, man, so please think before you commit. If they're listening, I don't know that they're listening to us. I don't even know that they give a shit that we're even on this planet. But, please think before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we've listened to the fans. We're gonna give you it, and then the bullshit comes out.
Then they got my support back 100%.
But still, they're on all these, I don't know, I guess they have to have deadlines. I'm just really, really concerned with those deadlines, though, because I feel like that makes it like trash. When it's like trash and they're like, oh, you know what, you just gotta come out with it because there's no more time.
They rushed it.
Yeah, make me wonder if this next movie is coming too soon.
We'll find out soon enough,
I'll tell you what, the last one came too soon.
Jedi Seth. I'm changing the subject. What's on your workbench right now, bro?
Oh, good question.
I'm in the middle of building another Jedi killer.
Oh, sweet. And now is a Jedi killer, I had one on the screen before that had like a real chunky emitter with like a red leather wrap. Is that the Jedi killer?
No, the Jedi killer is, let me see, that's a removable core.
I was going to ask, can we see?
The Jedi killer it's like the precursor to the cross guard, and it's in the Star Wars The Art of Force Awakens book.
Yes.
Book.
Yeah.
It's in that, and they have a little drawing of it, and then Harp made it first, and then there was one other guy that I think made it actually the same time Harp did, and when I saw Harp's, I loved it. And they have sold theirs, and so I made one, and I didn't copy Harp's because I'm not as good as he is, but I tried to get it as close to the original photograph as I could, and it's long, it's 13 inches or just a hint under 13 inches, but it's the one that has it's black. And it has the chamber closer up to the top that's not inside. The chamber's on the outside. It sees through the body.
Yeah.
And it's got kind of the center of it. It kind of indents there where a choke point.
I liked the one build I was just looking at earlier from you was
You're getting the echo feedback.
You had a pod on the outside of the emitter. It was almost like like one of the ships from Star Wars. It's like the B bomber, I think. Not the B wing, but there's a different bomber. It's like the one from Rebels that almost had like the pod on the exterior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, the red one.
That kind of reminded me of that. Like that's like, let me just tell you, that's like totally my style to have. I don't know. To me, that's like Star Wars. Have something asymmetrical. To have something that's like kind of, this is like a mechanical working thing that needs this to work. If you know what I'm saying, like in that universe, I like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like the Jedi killer looks like. It's almost like since Kylo Ren's saber evolved from that, and Kylo Ren's saber has like the red wire on the outside and certain kind of exterior design cues that kind of bring the interior out. I think what you're describing with the Jedi killer also has some of those cues, right? Where it's almost like some of the interior is outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd actually next time like to take the Jedi killer and alter it and change it and make it mine. I might do that next. Just play with some stuff. It's always nice to build sabers and try to incorporate things from Star Wars, so they kind of relate, but they're different and unique. Yeah. It's always cool to find parts too. Because that's how they built the originals. They use single props, they use boosters from a machine gun. It's kind of cool.
Are you a fan of any like the books, the Star Wars books that they had?
I've never. I paint. I'm an artist like you are, except for I paint paintings for a living. So if I'm not messing around with lightsabers, I'm painting.
Oh, awesome!
Very cool.
I usually don't. If I have time to read, I'm gonna go paint.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't.
If I'm the same way, if I have time to read, I'm going to build a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. But I'll sit and watch a cartoon or a movie from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a reader.
It's like I want to read, but I have a stack of stuff that's just like waiting for me to have that time to like read it.
Yeah, anymore, I'll tell you what I read. I read Facebook, and it's usually on the shitter.
I read to see which bathroom to go into.
Yeah. And again, Profi manuals I'll read, and Collector Labs manuals I'll read.
Manuals I have to read like 10
Oh,
times.
you gotta know how to read that Plector manual.
Yeah. Do you download them or you just keep them online? I downloaded them. I actually printed out a few to keep it hard copy.
I used to print them out because, like, seriously, I'm not lying when I say I have to read it 10 times. I have to read it 100 times. Like, I'm not even lying. I have to read it. Like, if I do 100 sabers, I read it 100 times because I read it every single time just because I don't want to mess anything up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, the way Irv writes that, it's very articulately written, and and he knows what he's talking about. And so for somebody that doesn't know, you really have to be thorough to understand exactly what he's saying, or you mess up.
I feel like that, and I feel like you're an artist. You understand that maybe our brain is working a little differently, because I'm telling you,
we're visual.
Yeah, like I don't get it on the first time, like you said. He's an electronics guy, and we can relate on a personal level so well. I just think that it takes me a longer time to get to his electronics level, because I am not there naturally, or without a lot of work, work to get there.
I mean, I've been reading the Plector manuals for 10 years now. I like the way they're written, to me, but that just could be because that's my norm. That's what I'm used to. You know what I mean? I totally get everything he puts down in this. I can, like...
I mean, he even has humor and jokes in there.
Yeah, he's got a few
It's pretty cool, yeah.
It's cool.
I like the Profi manual. It's very dense with all the different stuff you can do. I mean, I'm doing the string blade Profi on a saber right now, and it's just awesome that it has,
I like long strings, long falls, but we don't usually get them.
Yeah, we're back.
Hey, we're
Back!
After these messages.
But yeah, that was like so much fun to talk to you, JEDISETH, and it was great meeting you. I don't even think we've ever talked before on FaceTime or anything. But I've been looking at your stuff ever since you started posting it, and I really like your style. I like all the builds that you do, and how they just seem to get more intricate, and you have different ideas at every single one of them. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. And I guess, like you were saying before about your new tools, that's going to make things even better for you coming up.
Yeah. It's if you have the right tools, it makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely.
But hey, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate the great comments.
Best of luck to you, man.
I appreciate it.
Best of luck with everything. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your stuff coming out.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I want to have you on again as soon as we figure out like a better way to do it too. With like I was telling you, where it'll be like more professional on our end as far as like how it looks and stuff. But
We're still kind of Stone Age with some of
Yeah.
this stuff. It's amazing. We're building advanced lightsabers, but with the TV technology, we're kind
But we can't set up a
of slow.
camera.
Yeah.
I think
Should
it'll
we
be
light,
like
should we light them up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Thanks again for joining us, Seth. This
Thank
has
you,
been
brother.
A lot of fun.
Saber
Thanks,
Talk.
Yeah.
Light 'em up. Oh, I got fire! I got fire, baby! We got fire! Fire! Yeah! Nice job, guys. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Always is. Always is.